what I'm going to share with you is a simple and fast technique for writing better social media posts. All right, everybody, we are back with the Integrative Health Coach Success Podcast. I'm Dr. Stephen Cabral, board-certified doctor of naturopathy, founder of the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute. Excited to get into today's show because one of the main things that has come up with the Business Mentorship Experience Group is really wanting to help their online community grow their online followers and do that in a more systematic manner. And sometimes with some of the members, it's been coming up that they don't know how to write a social media post. They just want it to be easier. They feel like it's always so forced. They don't necessarily know if it's information that people want. And I get that. And I felt that same way starting out as well. So I've shared this tip and technique in the past, but I want to make it a little bit easier for you to actually complete here and now. And so what I'm going to share with you is a simple and fast technique for writing better social media posts. Because let me just take a 1 minute aside to share with you why you should be doing it, even if you don't love social media. So I am not someone that social media necessarily comes super easy to, meaning that the last thing on my mind when I'm making a meal for myself is that I should be sharing this on social media. Like that's literally the last thing that pops into my mind. When I'm taking my supplements, when I'm in the sauna, when I'm working out, I never think about, let me take out my phone and take a photo of myself or take a photo of my food or any of those things. It just never crosses my mind. However, I then think, well, you enjoy seeing other people, what they do in their life. You enjoy listening to tips from other people. Why wouldn't you give the same to other people as well? So I think about it and I say, yes. So for me, though, it has to be deliberate because it's just not how I'm wired. Now, could I make it? Yeah, maybe, but not really. I've been doing this a while now. It's not really something that I typically think about. So what I try to do is just dedicate some time in my schedule, a few days a week, in order to create social media posts. And this is the absolute easiest way for you to be able to do it. All right, I'm going to share that tip with you right now. So this is what I do. And I've talked about this one tip, but I'm going to elaborate much more right now. So the best way to write a social media post or an article in general, a blog, a video, a podcast, anything, a book, is to take your frequently asked questions, okay? So what are frequently asked questions? They are the questions that are asked the most often to you by friends, by family, or that you've researched and found in your niche. Meaning like your niche might be gut health. And so you're saying, what are the greatest foods or what are the most common foods that cause bloating? Which foods are high in histamines? Which foods don't digest well with others? Like any of those things. So it's like, what do people ask the most common? How many bowel movements per day should you have? Is it normal to have loose stool? Like all of these different things that you would ask about digestive health, right? Are nuts easy to digest? Should you only eat plant-based proteins or is meat okay? Like anything that you want, right? So those are your frequently asked questions. And then what you're going to do, just like I'm an all Mac, Apple kind of guy. So you can use your Excel or you can use your numbers, right? Anyone, and just a spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet with just all of my topics. And for me, I'm doing podcasts and we're taking clips out for those things that I'm talking about right now. And on that, I have one that is 4,022 lines of text. That is insane, but that is all the podcasts that I've done over the last 8 years. But then below that, I have about another 50 lines. And those 50 lines may or may not ever be used. And those are all ideas. And so I have all of my ideas from basically frequently asked questions that I can then, if I'm feeling it, because I have to connect with it to write about it as well, then I pull one of those and I make it into a show or a social media post. And that's what you want to do. You don't force yourself to do it. So have 20 questions. That's that's it. And I've actually given you the tip before, but it's called Ask the Public. You can check out a previous podcast. We'll try to link it up for you here today as well. So just go to ihp.coach/316. ihp.coach/316. We'll try to link that up for you as well. But it'll even give you the frequently asked questions. Okay. Another big tip on that, because I have to give you all the tips, is that search another person that you like to follow as well that might have like 100,000 or 200,000 or 500,000 followers, and see on other people's posts what questions on their post, meaning like the person you're following that has tons of comments, see what they're asking for questions. And then that may give you a good idea as well as to your frequently asked questions. Okay, so now here's the simplest way to do that, right? So now you have your frequently asked questions. You're going to choose one for the day. And here's how I want you to do it. I literally took my phone because I like to keep it away while I'm recording, but you're gonna actually, yeah, I'm not gonna grab it for you, but you have your phone, of course. And if you're not driving, hold it in your hand. And what I want you to do is this: open up the Notes app, whatever Notes app that you're using is. So I use an iPhone. I don't have a Max, I just have a regular iPhone Pro. And I open up the yellow document, right? That Notes document. 60% of people basically have an iPhone. So you can, if you want, you can go with that. All right. And so then you open up the Notes app, but it has to be on your phone. I'm going to share with you why. And so on your phone, you can either open the email or you can open the Notes app. And what I want you to do is click on the microphone dictation button in the bottom right corner. And I want you to ask your question. Okay, so whatever that question you want to be. So just make it simple. Make what people are interested in. The 5 foods that are hardest to digest. Okay, so that's the question. What are the 5 foods that are hardest to digest? You can just frame it as headline, 5 foods that are hardest to digest. Okay, now what you want to do is speak your answer. Okay, I don't even want you to type. I don't want you to write. That overwhelms people. If someone were to ask you, what are the 5 foods that are hardest to digest? Or if you, because that might be challenging for you, let's make it even easier. You might say, what's one food that my clients find difficult to digest? Even easier, better, great, we can start there. Because again, we have to get started. So you might say this. And again, it's conversational. You're not editing. All you're doing is opening up the notes. You're asking the question that comes along the top. What's the one food my clients find the hardest to digest? Because you're maybe the gut health expert. Okay, great. Just say, it's a great question. So now I'm dictating. This is just off the top of my head. It's a great question. And this is something that comes up all the time in my practice. After running or studying, right, about food sensitivity testing, I've found that cow's milk dairy seems to be the most challenging to digest. It can lead to bloating, gas, distension, and feeling overall too full. However, one thing that I've found to be very helpful for my clients is to be able to use something like a daily digestive enzyme. This enzyme, if it's the lactose that seems to be the issue, this enzyme contains lactase that helps to break down that milk-based sugar to an easier degree or lesser degree, leading to less bloating, less gas, less loose stool. So if you've never tried enzymes before, you may want to try to take anywhere between 1 and 3 of the daily digestive enzymes before each meal and see if that helps with your digestion of cow's milk dairy. That's it. That's all that you do. Now, on a separate post, you can talk about cow's milk dairy and how it's the highest on a food sensitivity test, specifically about the protein. But what you don't want to do is overwhelm someone in one post on social media, right? One post on social media is not meant to be the end all be all of everything. Now, why did I ask you to do on your phone? 2 reasons. The first one is that you can dictate and you can just let it flow, right? Because most of us find it easier to be able to answer a client or answer a human in a conversation if someone were to ask you a question, then instead of writing down on an 8.5 by 11 document, we find it's easier just to speak. So just speak. It's the easiest way to get it done. Now, why on an iPhone? Yes, there's the dictation, but you could also plug in your headset and dictate on your laptop. So the difference is that it's going to be basically in the same format that you'll see it on an Instagram, on a Facebook, on X or any of the other social media platforms. So you get to then edit to make it really easy to read, because nobody wants 12 sentences in one big paragraph block, right? So the first sentence says, the one food. So I always like to change the headline after I wrote it, because my mind kind of goes in a different direction. So I would actually write, the one food that my clients find hardest to digest, and a simple trick to reverse that. Like, that's it. Like, that's all I would do. And then you've got your big paragraph that you dictated. Then you're just going to break it up in every 2 to 3 sentences. That's it. Like, maximum 1 to 2 to 3 sentences maximum. So now you have like 3 or 4 paragraphs, and then you can have a link at the end. I know it's not going to be able to hyperlink on Instagram, but you can say to try out the daily digestive enzymes, or whatever you're looking to do, or to run the food sensitivity test, or to set up your free discovery call with me to find out how you can claim back your health, or get back control of your health. Click the link in my bio. Like, that's it. So the last line, you'll always add that. But now you have a simple way to dictate your answer. You're going to have no more than maybe, 6 to 10 sentences maximum. So these are short, right? Because it's just social media, just quick tips. Then you're going to break it up into 3 to 4 paragraphs. The sentence is going to sit by itself at the top. And then you'll always have a call to action at the end, which is just typically to learn more. Learn more about the enzymes, learn more about food sensitivity testing, learn more about they're setting up your discovery call with you, any of those things. So simple, super easy, and then it's written and formatted exactly how it's going to be for Instagram. And then you can just do a select all, and then you can go to Instagram, which you can then automatically post to Facebook if you'd like. So super easy to do. Great way to do it. But now you might say, but what about the image? The image can be as easy as this. You can literally write the word of the question and just put that as your image, which would get definitely a lot of click through. So your image would just be, the number one food, or the one food that my clients find most difficult to digest. And then in parentheses, and how to reverse it, or how I reverse it, like something like that, like easy, right? So that's your image, is your question. Simple, easy to do. It's going to get great engagement. Okay. But if not, what you can do is you can just show an image of maybe something that's like, delicious or gives curiosity. You might have like a refrigerator opening and like the image of the contents of the refrigerator. Don't make it complicated. No one ever really knows like what image is going to hit best or anything like that. So you can use a company like Big Stock Photos. You can use free online images, or you have that iPhone. Take a photo with your iPhone of your refrigerator opening, and then there's the curiosity, right? The curiosity is, what's this person talking about? What are they writing about? And then, of course, you have your posts below. Posts like that are super valuable to clients. They learn about the most common food sensitivity. They learn, hey, if it's an enzyme issue, easy. Enzymes will help with the bloating, the gas, the loose stool, and they can get a lot of benefit from that. And then, of course, they could find the enzyme, they could find the lab, or they could contact you as their health expert now, their gut health expert. So this is really all that you need to do. Don't overthink social media. You're basically just giving quick tips. Answering frequently asked questions is the best way to do that. And it's really consistency that matters. No one post is going to get you 1,000 new followers. No one post is going to get you 100 new clients. It is consistency over time. People like to see that you're showing up, that you're providing great content, that you're an expert in that field, and by answering questions, that proves to people that you are. And then over time, you'll also see what people are gravitating towards, what they like. You can start to do more of that. Your audience will grow, your practice will grow, they'll win, you'll win, everybody will be happy. So again, hopefully this has been helpful. I'd love to hear any tips from you as well. Any comments in the comment section, please feel free to let us know how we're doing, what other shows we can help with. All of these shows are literally directly from questions that we get, that we, of course, take those frequently asked questions and turn them into podcasts. So we are practicing what we preach. Once again, thank you so much, everybody. We thank you. We appreciate you. And if you're not already a part of the IHP community, head on over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org for all the details. Take care.